Hey everybody, it's Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com. And if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, it's because I just got back from picking up a bunch of stuff from Blick and some other art stores, Wet Paint in St. Paul, and some other places where I buy supplies, because I've been getting a growing list, a backlog, if you will, of people who have just been requesting, hey, can you do a review on this, and can you do a review on that? And as the channel has grown, the list has just grown. So I never say no. I always want to do it. And I'm getting around to it. I finally got a haul of stuff, and I just want to quickly share it with you. And then at the end, I've got an idea I've been toying with for several months now, actually since the end of last year. I mean, when fall ended up. But stay tuned for that, because I want to get your comments and suggestions on that idea. But before we get to that, okay, so I went out and spent a little money and got some things that have been on the list from subscribers. First thing I picked up was this Faber-Castell 9000 art set. No artist set is complete without it. These are instruments of mass creation, people. They're excellent. Highly engineered, precision crafted German instruments. If you use them, you will improve your art, I guarantee you. So anyway, that's an awesome set right here with a nice range of hard to soft pencils. So we're going to give those a try, see how they work, and we'll be reviewing those very soon. Another suggestion, request I always get is, hey, these Faber-Castell graphite sketch set, can you review that? I'm thinking about buying it. I don't know if I want to drop the money on this or a more expensive set. I picked this up. This is a range from 2H to 6B. Again, highly engineered German precision pencil. This comes with the Faber-Castell dust-free eraser. Here's the range, and we'll be checking those out very soon. When I'm out in the field sketching, a lot of times I'll see artists using these clutch pencils, and they've got this big, heavy, thick graphite core, goes right into the clutch pencil. The back, that's got a good illustration of how that works. I thought we'd check those out. I love checking out new stuff, so why not give it a try? Another request from a user lately, well, more than one, I got an email on this the other day, are these Wolf's carbon pencils. So we'll check these out and see how these Wolf's perform. I think this comes with a B, a 2B, a 4B, and a 6B, a soft 6B. So we'll check that out. One of the other things that is popular are these General's pencils. There's a whole different line of graphite and pencils that, and I should say charcoal that General's makes. They've been making pencils in America since the late 1800s. One of the few surviving pencil companies manufactured here in the United States. What I thought was cool about this is it gives you a little cartoon tutorial on the back for kids. And here's the thing. Kids are really busy. I have a fourth grader and that's the last of my 4 kids that's in school, but my fourth grader is under a lot of pressure these days. You know, they're learning pre-algebra in 4th grade, for gosh sakes. I didn't think about that stuff until junior high, but kids are under, you know, there's so much adult-themed stuff in the world today, and now they're on the internet, and there's all these distractions and pressures from school and home and sports and activities and everything. It just can be overwhelming for a little kid. And one of the things I like to do is set my kid down in front of a blank piece of paper with a pencil, again, an instrument of mass creation, and just let them take themselves to a world of their own creation. What this does is it opens up a pathway to creativity for children. So even if, and it's a lifelong gift. So even if you're not going to become an artist per se, this helps activate your creative side of your brain and think better. Think better creatively, think better critically. You know, the boards of directors in some of the most iconic companies in the world, Target, you know, Ralph Lauren, other publicly traded companies, the boards of directors they're not just comprised of a bunch of MBAs from Harvard and Yale. They look for creative people, people who can think outside the box, people who can think of new things, new and different ways to approach old problems. So those are the kind of skill sets that are handy in the 21st century, not just the cut and dry, you know, I'm going to get an MBA and that's going to send me to the board of directors and I'm going to, you know, have a helicopter and a private jet. It doesn't work that way, folks. Life's not fair. Sorry to break it to you, but that's how it is. In that other line of paints, there's this core. These are made by the Golden Company. They're really cool. They make great acrylics, but What's different about these core paints, and they've been recommended to me by an artist, is that they don't use a gum arabic binder. They use a different type of chemical binder. Maybe it's like a polymer or whatever. The long and the short of it is that by using that new different kind of binder, supposedly it's going to add a certain vibrancy to the paint, a longevity, a light fastness. So we'll see. We'll put it to the test and we'll see if it's really as vibrant as they talk about in their propaganda and show on the art here, on the actual packaging. They're going to have to do really well if I'm going to compare them against like a really high-end Winsor & Newton Artist Grade or a Schmenke brand paint. Back to the more inexpensive, I picked up these colored pencil set here at Hobby Lobby recently, and I just finished doing a review on a line of pencils called Kid Made Modern. If you go to the Kid Made Modern website, you can see they make a whole bunch of different projects for kids and things kids can do that are pretty cool. But what I thought was cool about these, and I found them at Hobby Lobby, right? 48 pencils, that's cool. They're all colored, that's cool. Price in the corner there, $9.99. That's really cool if you're on a tight budget. The other thing that's cool about these, check out where they're made. In Vietnam, and I'm guessing they're made at the same plant of the very good Kid Made Modern pencils, which I just reviewed, and they really surprised me. So the Vietnamese are making good pencils. I recommend trying them out. They don't seem cheap initially, just looking at them, but we'll give them a try and see how they work out. Speaking of more inexpensive things, Dick Blick, they make a line of pencils called Studio brand pencils. These aren't it. These are the essentials. They're not made in the Koh-i-Noor factory in the Czech Republic like the Studio pencils are. These are made in Thailand. They're a bit more inexpensive, less money. They make them in a variety of colors and a variety of different sizes, 36, 48. But I wanted to try these out because I like to try inexpensive pencils once in a while. I mean, I'm by no means a pencil snob. I like the higher quality pencils. That's my preference. But to be honest, a simple, humble 2H or 2B pencil in the hands of a good artist is a weapon of mass creation, or an instrument of mass creation, I should say. And you can do great things with the humble number 2. So I'm by no means a pencil snob, so I like to check out this stuff when I get a chance. And hey, not everybody can afford a Caran d'Ache or a German-made, highly engineered, precision crafted pencil. So, you know, bottom line is we all have to consider money when we're spending it and how it's going to affect our budget. So, hey, check out the other stuff too. One other thing is, you know, you get creating art as an artist and you think to yourself, okay, here it is. I've got this masterpiece. This is the best drawing I've ever done. It's really outstanding. I'm going to stick it in a notebook, put it away in a drawer, hang it on the wall, unprotected. And that's a mistake because even if you're not interested in preserving it for generations to come, you can still do a few things that'll help the colors remain vibrant and vivid over the years. And one of them is to add a little bit of this archival varnish or a fixative or any kind of you know, archival spray that makes sense, that works well. So we're going to review some and see how well they work and put them to the test. I've used Krylon over the years and some different stuff. Even early on I used hairspray. I don't recommend that today. It gets in the paper and can deteriorate it, but back in the old days they used to make this stuff called Aquanet, and my mom used to use it, and I used to spray my paper with it to preserve my art. And I've got some old drawings like that. It's all yellowed now, but over the years, 20, 30 years ago, yeah, that stuff was cool. And when you're poor, you use what you can and you do what you can and make ends meet. The other thing is a lot of colored artist pencils use like a odorless mineral spirit or an alcohol to blend. And I had an artist friend of mine recommend this stuff to me. It's Gamblin's Gamsol. And if you've had any experience with this, drop me a line or leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you on whether or not this stuff works or not. But this was a recommendation. I want to try it. Now, back off the beaten path a little bit. I started out, you know, talking about, oh, I got all this stuff. I want to review it and show you it. And not pencil related necessarily, but Strathmore makes a line of these creative cards. Really cool when you think about this for a second. Now pause and think, in so many ways nowadays we communicate with instant message, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever it is. It's an electronic form of communication. Now imagine that you've got a friend, family member, colleague, and you've sent them emails and you do all that kind of communication. But just pause for a second and think, what would they think? What would you think if you got a hand-decorated, drawn, painted card in the mail? Maybe it's a thank you, or it's just a kind gesture to say, hey, I saw you do something nice the other day. I want you to know that I noticed it. Or, thanks a lot for helping out. Or, hey, I'm just thinking about you. And I just think that's really cool. And so we're going to try these out anyway. So at the beginning of this video, this long, rambling, hyperactive video, I mentioned that I had this idea I've been toying with from probably goes back to the fall of last year. But what I think I'd like to do in the spring and summer this year is start a new video series in between my reviews called Art Adventures. So what Art Adventures is, and this is just a brainchild, and this is just ideas, so I'd love to hear your feedback. I got a GoPro for Christmas, and I'm a little old to be snowboarding, skydiving, bungee jumping, although I will mountain bike on occasion and do some other things. But, you take your GoPro with you and you do all that stuff, scuba diving, all that's great. But how many artists would take a GoPro with them in the field and kind of give you a sense of place, time, environment, and maybe help overcome some people's fears of getting out there and actually sketching in the field or journaling or painting? I do a lot of that all the time anyway. So I figured I'd bring the GoPro along, edit out all the boring bits, and kind of take you on an art adventure over the spring and summer. So if you're interested in that, drop me a line, let me know. If you have ideas for it, drop me a note, and I'm welcoming all suggestions as always, so I really appreciate that. Anyway, thanks a lot for tuning into the channel. It's grown, got more than 1,600 subscribers now. I get a lot of suggestions, comments, people asking questions every day, and I really appreciate them. Keep them coming. It's what motivates me to do more. And I just want to share some of the stuff that was coming up on the channel here very soon. All right, well, thanks a lot for checking it out. I really appreciate it. Again, hope you get some time to draw. So long, everybody.